Tragedy in the wild. Russian woman mauled by bear in Kamchatka. Tourists clinched to life after brutal tent attack. Second fatal bear encounter in Romania. Russian woman is fighting for her life after a terrifying bear attack during a wilderness adventure tour in the rugged eastern region of Kamchatka. The horrific incident occurred when 43-year-old Natalia K. from Saratov was sleeping inside her tent near the 7,618 feet high active Matnovsky volcano. In a similar tragic case, just days before the Kamchatka incident, a tourist in Romania was mauled to death by bear in the Carpathian mountains after reportedly taking selfies with a bear cub. Let's get into the thick of it in today's AI podcast episode.
Okay, picture this. You're out in the wild, maybe near some incredible volcano, sky stretching out. Or perhaps you're on a winding mountain road, just breathing it all in. It's peaceful, right? It's beautiful. It's exactly why we go to these places. But then, imagine that calm just shatters instantly. What happens when that amazing photo opportunity turns deadly? Or, when a shadow outside your tent becomes a real nightmare? That's the tough reality we're going to get into today. We've gathered a bunch of reports, expert takes, personal accounts, trying to understand this growing clash between us and wild animals. And specifically, we're looking at two really harrowing bear encounters that happen basically back to back.
Yeah, and our goal here for this deep dive is really to break down these incidents. One's from Kamchatka in Russia, the other from Romania's Carpathian Mountains. We want to look past just the shocking headlines and pull out some, real insights. What are the risks? What can these stories teach us about being safe out there? What can you learn from this?
Right, let's start with the first one. Kamchatka, Russia. It's this incredible place, loads of volcanoes, very wild, and home to a lot of brown bears. We're talking about Natalia K., 43 years old, from Saratov. She was on a wilderness tour sleeping in her tent. This was near the Matnovsky volcano, which is like over 7,600 feet high.
And what's really disturbing about Natalia's story is how the attack happened. Sources say a brown bear just silently came into the campsite. This wasn't like bumping into a bear on the trail. The bear actively clawed at her tent, pulled her out, and attacked her. Really severe injuries, scalp torn, bite wounds on her back, just brutal. That kind of behavior, a bear going for someone in a tent, it often suggests what experts call a predatory attack. It's different from a bear just being surprised and defending itself.
That's a scary distinction, predatory versus defensive. But there's something else here. Her screams, the reports called them blood-curdling. They weren't just panic, were they? In a way, maybe her first defense. Could you talk about that? Like making noise in that situation.
Oh, absolutely. It might sound like just fear, but a sudden, really loud noise can sometimes startle a bear. It can interrupt that aggressive focus, potentially giving you a vital second or two. And in Natalia's case, her screams alerted the other campers nearby. They were actually able to rush over and scare the bear off before it got even worse. So yeah, that's a huge takeaway. Making yourself loud, making yourself seem big, that can sometimes be your best immediate move. Medics got to her quickly, gave first aid, then rushed her to the hospital. She needed surgery right away, got rabies and tetanus shots. Last we heard, she was still in intensive care. Critical condition. It just shows how serious it was.
Yeah, critical. And the local authorities, the prosecutor's office, they released video from the site later.
Yeah.
You could see the tent just shredded, her stuff scattered everywhere. It's just such a stark picture of how fast things can go wrong. And Kamchatka, you mentioned, it's wild. It has something like 20,000 brown bears. Attacks are rare, okay? But sources say they are happening more often. It's not just more people out there, is it? Something else is changing.
Exactly. It's not just the numbers. It seems to be about how people are interacting, or maybe not interacting correctly, with bears. When bears get too used to seeing people, especially if they link people to food or just non-threatening encounters, they can become habituated. They lose that natural caution, that fear. Which kind of leads us to the other incident, also incredibly tragic. This one happened just days before Natalia's attack, but the lead up was very different. This was in Romania, in the Carpathian Mountains.
Okay, yeah. This is the story of Omar Farangzin. He was 49, an Italian guy, sounds like a real adventurer, traveled solo a lot. He was motorbiking through the mountains there in the RJ region. Beautiful area. But the fatal encounter seems to involve him taking selfies with a bear cub.
Right. And if you look at his social media, which reporters did, it seems he really loved documenting his trips. He'd posted photos, even videos, of bears getting really close. There was apparently a smiling selfie with a cub, another video of a bear coming right up to his motorbike. It sort of points to this trend, Adventure tourism is booming. People want those amazing shots, that unique content for social media. But sometimes well, safety and respect for the animal get pushed aside.
And it seems like that's what happened here, tragically. The reports suggest it might have been the same bear from the photos, or maybe another one nearby. They attacked him, dragged his body down into a steep ravine. Other tourists nearby raised the alarm.
Yeah, a rescue team went out. Took them about an hour, they said, to find his body. And the aftermath. Well, Romanian officials later tracked down and euthanized the bear believed to be responsible, which is another layer of tragedy, really.
It is, so it's a really different scenario from Natalia's.
A very different dynamic. Natalia seems like a random, possibly predatory attack on someone just being there, sleeping. Omar's situation, though, it points more towards food conditioning or habituation. Bears starting to link humans with easy food, or at least not with danger. Taking a selfie with a cub, that sends all the wrong signals. The mother bear could see it as a threat. Or any bear might just see it as, well, not something to fear. It breaks down those natural barriers.
Okay, so we have Natalia's terrifying survival story and Omar's awful death. When you put them side by side, what are the main takeaways for us, for anyone listening? Both stories really highlight what conservationists are worried about, right? Humans pushing further into these wild habitats. Adventure tourism is getting more popular. People want those remote experiences. But there's clearly a risk involved.
A huge risk. And it circles back to what the experts keep saying. Respect wildlife boundaries, avoid risky behaviors, and specifically things like feeding animals or trying to get close for photos. Those are major red flags. They're not just unwise, they're actively dangerous because you're teaching the bear the wrong lesson. You're conditioning it to lose its fear, approach people. That puts everyone at risk. And often, like in Omar's case, it ends badly for the bear too.
Yeah, that's a really important point. It's not just about human safety. So the core warning seems to be, whether it's a moment of wanting that amazing photo or just a lapse in awareness, things can turn deadly very, very quickly.
Right.
These aren't just, sad news items. They're real lessons in how we interact with the wild.
Absolutely. Understanding what happened here, it's more than just knowing the story. It gives you, hopefully, practical knowledge. Lessons for anyone who loves the outdoors, who hikes or camps, or even just appreciates wild places from afar. It's a powerful reminder, isn't it? Wildlife is unpredictable. And we have a huge responsibility to be respectful, to be cautious when we enter their world.
It definitely is. So it leaves us with this big question, doesn't it? We all have this innate curiosity, this desire to explore, to see these amazing wild places and creatures. But how do we balance that desire with the absolute need to keep a safe, respectful distance from animals that are magnificent, yes, but also potentially very dangerous? How do we navigate that line?
Are tourists underestimating the dangers of wildlife encounters for the sake of adventure or social media clout? Don't forget to comment it. Thanks.